Gamers Overdrive Retro Mode. Kick back and relax while I blast you back in time and guide you down a pixelated, coin-operated, button-mashing memory lane paved with joysticks, consoles, and dusty old cartridges. Where good guys are always good guys, bad guys are always bad guys, and the fate of the universe lies in your hands. Time to kick it into overdrive. Retro mode. Insert coin to play.
Oh, 7373596 I can't forget these numbers no matter how hard I try. They're burned into my brain. I just can't let go of these numbers. What are these numbers? What do they mean? I'll tell you what they mean in this video. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome to Gamers Overdrive Retro Mode. I'm your host, Johnny Retro. Don't forget to like this video if you like it. Please subscribe for more weekly retro gaming content. And let's jump right into it. So, Punch Out, Mike Tyson's Punch Out to be specific, is what this show is all about today. It was one of my all-time favorite games in the 80s and 90s, and it still to this day holds up as an incredibly fun, well-made video game. Now, a little bit of history about Punch Out. It started out in the arcade as a stand-up unit called just Punch Out, and it was a dual-screen arcade machine back in 1984. And not a really fun game. I've played it, I've tried it out, it just hasn't held up that well, hasn't aged well. But in 1987, a few years later, they released Mike Tyson's Punch Out on the NES. And they secured the rights for Mike Tyson's likeness and name, and they just put him into this incredible game that was already incredible, you know, even without his image and likeness and all that. But it's having him, the most, you know, notorious and just legendary boxer of the 80s, as the front, the first thing that you see on the cartridge. You know, brilliant marketing, and they did a great job in that respect. Now, he's also known, Mike Tyson is known as one of the most difficult video game bosses in history. He's incredibly difficult to beat. And so that number, 007-373-5963, if you put that into the game, in the beginning there's a little area for number input, it just skips the entire game and it lets you play him right away. Now, if you try that and you've never played this game before, you're going to die instantly. So just get ready to lose. There's no human possible way that you will beat Mike Tyson the first time you play this game. If you can, you are an alien. You're not from planet Earth. He's so hard. He just knocks you out with one blow. You have to study his movement. You have to study his eye twitching, and there's a little tiny flash of light that you can barely register. So you have to play through the game multiple times to develop these skills, so that by the time you do get to him, you can actually have a chance of beating him. So what that really is good for, that code is good for if you've played the game already ad nauseum and you want to fight Mike Tyson, but you just don't want to play through the game again. So it's just a useful thing. It's not really a cheat code. It's just a way that the game works around not having a battery backup for saving, which most games did not have back in that time. So, Mike Tyson's Punch Out is just an awesome, beautiful game, really, because it's the animation is top-notch, considering its time. It's got really memorable characters, awesome music, easy gameplay. It's the very simple left and right punch. If you hold up and do the A and B buttons, you'll punch up, and if you don't hold up, you'll do a body blow, and then it's down to block. Very simple. And so it's basically not really a sports game, but it's more of a puzzle game. You have to figure out the patterns of these fighters, and when you memorize the patterns, then you can dodge at the right time, hit at the right time, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Highly recommend it. Now I'm going to play it for you today, but I'm going to play it on the NES Mini, and I'm going to use this controller, which is a replication of the classic controller. It's like a one-to-one. It's perfect controller. It's exactly the way that the original was, and this is how this game should be played. You can play it in 10 million different ways, but this is ideal. Now I'm going to play through the game a little bit, see how my skills have held up. Probably not very well, but then I'm going to skip ahead and I'm going to fight Mike Tyson directly. and we'll see what happens. But I'm coming for you, Mike. I'm coming for you. Now, a quick little side note. One of my favorite memories from childhood was when I was about, let me do the math here. I was about 7 years old. It was 1989, and my brother had the NES, but he never let me play it. I was forbidden to play it, so I used to play it in secret when he was out with his friends. And then one Saturday morning, I think he was still asleep actually, he was upstairs sleeping. I was downstairs playing Punch Out, and so I'm 7 years old, I've gotten into this groove, I know the game so well, but I never beat Mike Tyson, of course. So that day I just popped in the code, I started fighting Mike Tyson, and I got into this kind of dream state. I think I was somewhere half between this world and the retro land of pixels and dusty cartridges. But it was a surreal experience because I don't really remember what happened. But I know that I put in the code. I know that I sat there cross-legged on the floor playing Mike Tyson, probably in my underwear. Not that you need to know that. But I was just on autopilot, and before I knew it, it was over, and the winning screen with the trophy just popped up, and it said, "You've done it! Congratulations, fast fingers," or something like that. And it was so surreal, and this elation just like washed over me, and I just felt like I've seen the light. Like, I think that was the moment when I knew that Johnny Heilig was something else, something other. I was Johnny Retro. On that day, I became Johnny Retro, and I've never looked back. So here we go, Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I'm coming for you, Mike Tyson. In 3, 2, 1. Alright, so here we are inside the game, Mike Tyson's Punch Out. If you go to New Game, you just start the game from scratch from a guy named Glass Joe. And if you go to Continue, that's where you can input that number 007-373-5963 and lose right away, because if you don't have any experience playing this game, you're gonna die the first time. The better you get, the better chance you'll have of eventually beating Mike Tyson. Now I'm gonna start, and by the way, I forgot to mention in my first part that Mike Tyson was eventually replaced by this dude named Mr. Dream, and what happened is their licensing agreement for Mike Tyson eventually ran out, so they just never renewed it, and they decided to replace him with just a clone. It looked like him in body shape and had all the same moves, and it was just as difficult to beat him, but his name was Mr. Dream. So if you ever get this game and it does not have Mike Tyson on the cover, watch this, watch this. Boom! That's one of my favorite. I love when they fall like that. So it's all timing, and these are skills that I developed when I was like 7, 8 years old, maybe even 6. But this is like riding a bicycle for me. I'm not even thinking about it. It's kind of just like. Now see, I just got hit. You should never get hit by Glass Joe. That's a disgrace. How dare you? Now you see when a little star pops over his head, that gives you a super punch like that, so that you can send him into orbit. And you use that super punch by hitting the start button. So, I'm using this NES controller. You would just hit start to use that, to make that move. Now look at the rhythm you get. I love when you get into a good rhythm of just punching these guys. And the sound effects are just so cool. You see when Mac gets tired, he turns pink and he starts to just pant. It's a really nice effect. TKO, if you knock somebody out, it's 3 knockdown rule, sorry. 3 knockdowns is a technical knockout, and that's usually the way I win fights in this game. Great fight, and you won by TKO. Time 2 minutes and 17 seconds. In round 1, you'll be ranked up to number 2. Are you ready for the next challenge? I think I am. Von Kaiser, 23-13, 10 KOs, profile from Berlin, Germany. He's 42 years old. And I always thought he was a pretty cool dude. He's like not as much of a loser as Glass Joe, but he's still pretty easy to beat, and I'll show you how it goes. So you see. Now you see that little telegraph move, and I fell for it? That little head shake? When he does that head shake, that means he's going to punch, and then there's a little flash of light. So those are mechanics that they introduce you to very early in the game, and then, you know, Mike Tyson wouldn't shake his head, he would twitch his eyelid, he would just wink his eye. So you have to really study the pixels, and that's a really excellent, you know, game design. They're introducing you to the mechanics that you will need to eventually beat the boss. So they're not completely foreign to you by the time you make it to him. I love hitting this guy in the stomach. Look at the animation on his face. It's perfect. It is perfect. Whoever designed the lead, look at the way they fall. Whoever designed this is just genius. I love it. Love the art style. And you can tell it's, you know, Japanese animation and drawing because it's just very different looking from Western art of the time. Super animated, excellent perspective, and just they're doing so many cool things with simple pixels. That's why this is such a classic. There you go, rank up to #1. Are you ready for the next challenge? Of course I am. This is your first title bout in the WVBA minor circuit, and you're fighting Piston Honda, the champion. 26-1, 18 KOs. He's from Tokyo, Japan. He's 28 years old. I didn't look like that when I was 28 years old. I still don't look like that. He's 174 pounds, not very heavy. And I weigh 107 pounds. I'm like a ballerina compared to these mutants. And look at the size of him. This guy is like 5 of me. His glove is bigger than my entire body. Thanks, Mario. I'll keep it clean, don't worry. See, now this guy is a little more defensive, and you see he twitches his eyebrows, his big gigantic eyebrows. And so he flashes. I can't believe I got hit by that. But you know, there's lots of different ways to beat these guys. But you can pick apart their patterns and just watch this. Ah, I missed it. If I hit him in the stomach right there, he would have fallen. He would have been knocked down, but I missed it. So a pretty precise timing that you need. There you go. Love the way he falls. See, I haven't gotten any star punches yet. That little star that goes over their head. He gets up to 5. Look at his tiny little shoes. I just noticed that. Why are they so tiny until he falls? Oh, I have a star punch now. Watch this. Ready? Boom. So satisfying punching these giant melon heads. It's like punching a watermelon. Oops, I got a big one. That uppercut is one of Mike Tyson's, well, it's one of his most used moves. Mike Tyson, by the time you get to him, the first 90 seconds of the match, any punch that he hits you with will just knock you out, or knock you down. And then you end up getting a TKO if you get knocked down 3 times. No, again I missed it. Had to resort to blocking. Oh, look at that! He was about to knock my head off. So I don't really like going to the second round with this guy. That just shows you how rusty I am. And unload on him. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. Maybe I do usually go to a second round with him. Can't remember. But yeah, there's stamina in this game. So if you just fling wild punches, you're gonna get tired. Maybe I can show you that. Let's see if I just fling wild punches. Ready? Oh, I got a nice star punch. See, I'm just flinging. And look, my stamina goes down. You see? 6. Maybe that wasn't a good idea. Whoa! And see, I did knock down. Oh, I didn't get knocked down. Nice. But back to 20 on stamina. That's good. But anything he hits me with now will knock me down. So I gotta be careful. Boom! And I got him first. Kapow! 1. He gets up at 1. That's not a good sign. Oh no. Let's see. Move out of the way. How about a star punch to the face? And he's out! That might be it for him. Look at the crowd. They're so funny. They're just like little pixel bits of eyes and smiley faces. They look like emojis. Like very basic emojis. Come here, Piston Honda. Do your patterns so that I can pick them apart and beat you. Alright, come on. Yeah! I got you that time, player. I got you. That's a TKO. So, finally caught him in the stomach. And, that's that. Great fighting. You won by TKO. Time, 2:23. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new champion. It's very, very satisfying. I love this game. Oh my god, this game has held up so well. It's still so fun. This is one of my favorite images in gaming, period. Look at this. The pink sweatsuit. Doc Lewis on the weird purple-blue bike. New York City. Listen, the music is awesome. So cool. Yeah, I love this. And you're going to see the Statue of Liberty. Now, I'm not going to play all the way through the game. Just because I don't really want to embarrass myself too much. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back. Now see, 005-737-5423. You could also memorize that one if you wanted to just get past that first part of the game. But that's not really cool, is it? Or you know what? Maybe I'll play one more round. I think maybe Don Flamenco is next. He's a really cool guy. So I'll show you Don Flamenco. Yeah, I love fighting Don Flamenco. He's super cool. Okay, first time in Gamers Overdrive Retro Mode history, I accidentally kicked the plug on my NES Classic and it reset my game. Unbelievable. That's real time, happened in real time. I just edited the video a little bit to skip the part where I was screaming at the top of my lungs. No, that never happened. But what I'm going to do is, since my short-term memory is not so great, I'm looking up the Don Flamenco code. Don Flamenco code, which you guys probably remember because your short-term memory is probably normal, but 005-737-5423. Okay, so this will be a good chance to show you how it works. So I'm going back into the game, and let's put in that code. Let's get back to Don Flamenco. Mike Tyson. Mike is waiting for your challenge. Yeah, okay, I'm coming, Mike. I'm coming. Okay, 5 7 3 7 5 4. Why am I so slow? 2. Okay, there you go. So then you get the big boxing glove punching through it, and it'll take you right back to Don Flamenco. So that's kind of cool. I got to show you that. He's from Spain. And round 1, here we go. Check him out. This dude is a flamenco dancer, and he's got a rose in his teeth. And he's so fun to play because once you get into the groove of punching him in the jaw, you can just continue. It's like a symphony, like you're conducting a symphony. Look, and then you move, and then that's it. It's just left and right punch, left and right punch. Look, I'm actually looking at the camera. You can see my big nose in the camera. I'm not even looking at the screen. But see, I messed it up. So watch. I'll do it again. You can just keep going. See, that's my nose. And that's, he gets knocked out. So once you figure that out, he's one of the easiest guys in the game to beat. It's pretty cool. And then he goes right forward again. Look, right back to it. And I'm just punching. Dun 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 da 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 dun 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 da da dun 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 dun. I messed it up, but that's okay. Look at this. Woo 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 woo. That's probably the best death scene in gaming history. Well done. Oops, I messed it up. See, look at that. Stamina went down. See, it taunts you, and then you just move out of the way. You hit him and move out of the way. And that's it. That's all there is to Don Flamenco. Very funny dude. Look at that. Woo 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 woo. TKO. Well done, little Mac. You did it. The next guy is King Hippo, if I remember correctly. And King Hippo is just like total freak. He's from Hippo Island in the South Pacific. No one knows how old or how heavy he is, but he is a true freak. Now the secret to him is that you have to punch him in the mouth. His mouth is his weak point. So that opens up his guard. Now watch this. You just have to wait. See, watch. Watch it. Now, similar to, what's his name? Once you figure it out, he becomes very easy. You punch him when he flashes, and then his pants keep falling down, and he has to adjust them. And I wonder if maybe he's the easiest guy in the game. Oops, I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. What have I done? What have I said? Oh, he's pounding me. Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Hippo. You are harder than I thought. There you go. I got him now. He's done. Look at that. Now he's done. That's it. That's the end of him. He can't get up. If you knock him down once, that's it. He's out. He's just too heavy. And the cool thing about this game is if you do, while you're figuring this stuff out, you know, I know all this stuff, but while you're figuring it out and you're learning how to play, your manager, Doc Lewis, gives you little hints during the training, during the, break in between rounds. So when you're in the corner, you're having your water and he's giving you a pep talk, he gives you hints on how to beat these dudes. So that's all I'm going to show you from the regular cast. I'm actually going to put in the code for Mike Tyson now, and I'm going to show you how legitly deadly he is. Here we go, Mike. This is it. It's you and me. You can't escape anymore. You've been running ever since 1989 when I last beat you. So let's do 00, 7, 3, 7, 3, 5, 9, 6, 3. It works. It still works. From Catskill, New York, age 21, 220 pounds of raw death. He is going to destroy me. It's not going to be pretty, but look at him. I'm getting nervous, right? I have this anxiety suddenly. No, you know what? I'm going to fight through it. I'm going to fight through it. You're not that bad, Mike. You ain't so bad. Look at that. I dodged the first one. That's a good sign. Oh, okay. Oh my god, look. He's so deadly, dude. I dodged the first 2 punches. I'm happy about that. Yes, I got some punches in. Oh my god. Dude. This is not going to be pretty. I told you it wasn't going to be pretty. I told you. Alright. Ah, did you see? I had a groove going there for a second. I felt like a 7-year-old kid again for a second. Ooh, Mike Tyson, you got me again. Yeah, you did. Ooh, I'm coming back. Give up? Retire? I think I'm going to have to retire for this episode. But this game goes without saying, guys. This is a overdrive game. This game is super cool. Love it. I'm so glad that I got a few good hits in on Tyson because I haven't played him in years. There are people who speedrun through this game and do it blindfolded and all that, you know, otherworldly gamer stuff that I could never do, but overall, I had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Gamers Overdrive Retro Mode. Don't forget to listen to the audio podcast on Spotify, Gamers Overdrive, and I will see you guys next time. Till then, Johnny Retro, signing out.